Alright, hey, it's Mega here, and this is the after action review for Treasure Island TT 2023. Alright, I don't know how many other these Treasure Island TT races there are going to be in 2023, but this is the first one, alright? And it's on Independence Day, alright, July 4th. You guys didn't know that, so it's a pretty easy one to remember. Alright, so this is the after action review. This is what was supposed to happen, what really happened, and things we could do to improve in the future, alright? So it was on Independence Day. I got an email maybe like a week ago saying, hey, Treasure Island TT 2023 is here. And so pretty much it was in the same place. I signed up for the race. There's 3 classes. There's Scooter, Clubman, and like Expert or Pro, okay? And last time, Hayes Mega raced in the Clubman class, all right? Or Sportsman, whatever they call it. That's like you're kind of like a part-time rider type of thing, all right? And Hayes Mega wound up racing in the expert class, all right? I'm not gonna say pro, man. I'm definitely not a pro, okay? But yeah, last year I raced the Clubman class, and it was pretty competitive, all right? Is what I'm gonna say. So it was in the same place as it was last year, just this kind of waterfront in San Francisco. Even though it's called Treasure Island TT, it actually wasn't on Treasure Island, all right? It was in San Francisco, all right? Pretty kind of close to South San Francisco type of thing, all right? And it was a whole lot of fun. I had a, oh wait, hold on, I forgot something. Oh yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, and I got this guy, all right? I got the first place trophy, all right? But we'll rewind, all right, and we'll get to this eventually, all right? But yeah, I'll keep it here. This is my little treasure for today, all right? It's definitely a memorable trophy to have. Okay, it's pretty cool looking. Now you guys can take a closer look at it in a bit. The second and third place, you got different trophies too. There were like a medal, like the Olympics medal, yeah, something like that. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Not a lot of people showed up to this one because it's on Independence Day and people are out there, you know, doing the barbecue and all that stuff. Hayes Mega was gonna do some racing, all right, and I did it, and I had a whole lot of fun, all right. So yeah, that was the plan, to go down to Treasure Island TT. I didn't even know where to go. I didn't get the email with the directions and all that stuff like last time. I had to actually go on the bar forum, all right, and Lucy Triples posted the map to how to get there and everything, all right? But it was in the same place. I knew where to go, all right? Is what I'm gonna say. You look very familiar. And so the difference from last year to this year is that it was in daylight, all right? This took place around like in the afternoon, all right, around 2 or 3 o'clock. I got there at 12. They said the racers were supposed to show up at 12, and I guess we were supposed to help set up the course. That's what Hayes Mega did. I kind of helped set up some tape and cones and all that stuff for a little bit. But then, yeah, and then that was it. That's what I would say. All right, and then the races came along. Like I mentioned, not a lot of people showed up, and the course a little bit different than last time, is what I say. So I wore my leathers. You see, I got my leathers right here. I wore all my Supermoto gear, all right? I wore the stuff that I used to race Supermoto, all right? And generally, Supermoto is kind of mostly asphalt and a little bit of dirt, all right? I would say like 75 asphalt, 25 dirt type of thing. Well, it was the opposite for this one, all right? It was 75 dirt and 25 asphalt this time, all right? So lots of dirt. And Hayes Mega's out there with the Dunlop Moto 3 slicks, and yeah, man, it's like kind of out of place, and I'm not gonna lie. The rest of the bikes were like XR100. There was a SSR 150. That was a pretty cool bike. What else? There was a KLX 140 out there. Lots of XR 100. So that's kind of the bike that you want to be racing. XR1 and a TTR 125, right? Not the most sophisticated bikes out there, right? But they get the job done, all right? Especially if you got the right rider on it, it can be fast, all right? Plus, they got all sorts of modifications for them, so yeah, they're no joke. Yeah. So those were the bikes. I wound up racing some of the people I raced last year, all right? And like I said, the good thing was it's in the daytime, so we can see where we're going now. Okay, that's the good thing, all right? But yeah, the dirt section was literally twice as big as last time. Last time it was 50% dirt and 50% pavement. All right, and there was a little ramp. We didn't have that this time. We just had like a long straightaway. All right, which is good for me because Hayes Pink-A has a lot of power. I got a 15 kilowatt Sauron with the KO Moto factory spec controller and motor on it. All right, so that's some of the improves from last time. So if you remember from the last race, I did pretty good in the last race. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun, but I had the QS165 motor on here that I couldn't get tuned properly, and I had the BSC 4000 on this bike, the Electric Race Technologies one. Yeah, it was on like its dying legs already. Okay, and what else? And yeah, and the bike would cut out and everything. Yeah, it just wasn't tuned properly. Like it was. I wouldn't even say it's as fast as a stock Sauron. It was probably slower than a stock Sauron, guys. So my bike was really slow last time, right? And I did all right, But fast forward to now, 2023, I got the KO Moto. I got the KO Moto Advantage is what I'm gonna say. All right, I have it tuned for about 15 kilowatts. That's how much I run with Supermoto. I've become pretty familiar with racing the bike at 15 kilowatts. So I'm gonna keep it there. I feel 15 kilowatts is a good amount of power. Is what I'm gonna say. In fact, it's too much power for this race. Okay, on the pavement, the power is definitely welcome, but when you should get in the dirt, can't really use all that much power. Okay, is what I'm gonna say. Okay, so yeah, I took a couple practice spins in the dirt without my full gear on before the race because I was helping set up the course so I could see, and like, yeah, it's if you kind of look at the I have a map. I have a track of the map, all right? Check it out. Okay, yeah, if you kind of look at the dirt section, it's kind of shaped like the state of Oklahoma, all right? You know, they have that panhandle, yeah. So it's exactly like that. Once you get into the dirt, there's a panhandle. Basically, it's like a hairpin turn, kind of. And then it goes straight for quite a while, and then you got another right turn, and then you follow that onto the pavement, all right? It's kind of sketchy, I'm not gonna lie, man. So it was Marble City out there. We were racing on gravel, right? Most of it was gravel. Sometimes the gravel would kind of disappear, and you would get from pretty excellent, hard-packed, you know, kind of dirt. I don't even say it's dirt, but it wasn't like you were racing on marbles, all right? So definitely. The advantage goes to the dirt bikes, all right, the dirt bikes with the knobby tires and the dirt, all right. It was pretty difficult to race with the slicks there. We were just slipping and sliding all over the place. The scary thing is the front not wanting to hook up, right? So yeah, it was kind of sketch. I'm not gonna lie, right? And I wouldn't want to push it really hard because I wasn't wearing my gear, okay? And then so registration pops up, and I register for the Clubman race. And yeah, not many people really showed up, so they really only had 2 classes. They were supposed to have 3, remember? Scooter, Clubman, and Expert, all right? So, and then I wound up being in the Clubman class, and during practice, I was just passing people left and right. I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm bullying these people. I feel like a sandbagger. Like, yeah, man, I was out there hauling the mail. I just want to say, all right, there's no way it was pretty difficult for those guys to keep up with me. I was like, damn, like, I feel like I want to race with the experts, all right, type of thing. But anyway, yeah, we do practice. I'm ripping it out there. I'm doing pretty good. If there's a turn in the back corner. I think it's like it must be a reducing radius turn. Like, it turns like right away. It's a reducing radius. I think it goes in and then it just turns right away, all right? It is very difficult turn. I had trouble the whole night, man. And Hayes Mega's out there trying to do his flat tracking skills and stuff, and it's just very difficult with slick tires, man. Like, yeah, you get to slide it around. Yeah, but I felt pretty comfortable on the bike. I was, you know, if I felt comfortable that if the bike got out of control or bent out of shape, I could just put my foot down, all right? Just dab my foot, and that's what I did. It helped a whole lot, right? When I felt the bike was going to get out of control or fall down, I would just deploy the outriggers. That's what I'm saying, okay? So yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me go over the batteries. All right, and this is going to be already on the improves. All right. I brought this battery with 50% charge. All right, and then I brought the battery that's in the bike, the bigger battery, had like 90% charge when I started. All right. So next time, Hayes Omega, take your charger and fully charge both batteries. I'm not gonna lie, Hayes Omega's been like, I've been running my solar power system like crazy the last couple days. All right, and there's never any solar power in the batteries anymore, and I was like, I'm trying to save electricity so I don't drive up the electricity bill and all that stuff. So I was being cheap. I didn't charge the batteries up to max. That's what I should have done. All right, for the improves, Hayes Omega should have charged the batteries up to 100%. All right, usually for like a sprint, for like a race or something, you know, like a supermoto race, I don't want it at 100%. I want it at 90, but we could have just gone out there and done practice, okay? But pretty much, I use this battery for practice only, okay? I use it for just when I want a pit bike, you know, go ride around the area, because Hayes Omega doesn't like walking, so I say okay, and yeah, so I had, that's what I had that battery for, all right? And so I use it for the practice, and I could feel the bike getting slower every lap, man. Like, I'm looking down at the gauge, it's like, it says 0% charge in the battery. I'm like, oh shit. So by the end of practice, I kind of let off on the thing, all right? I think I did both practices on this battery, yeah. And then after the practice, I switched to the bigger battery, right? The one that had 90% charge, all right? And then yeah. So we raced the heat race, all right? And so I already knew that, like, I've got slicks, all right? I'm probably gonna, I got slicks and I got a lot of power, all right? And so I'm definitely gonna be fast on the pavement, all right? The pavement is where I'm gonna get them, all right? Because that's what my bike is optimized for, like pavement, all right? I'm not gonna lie, if I kind of knew that we were gonna have more dirt this time around, so I probably should have put the knobbies on the bike, okay? I have the Shinko cheater tire and the 19-inch front with the knobbies. I think that would have been a better setup for this track, because the gummy tires weren't good for flat track, all right? It's a good kind of flat track tire because it's sticky, so it'll grip pretty good on the pavement, and it's got knobs on it, so you'll get more traction in the dirt, all right? So I feel like if the next time they're gonna have, but you know, I didn't know the track layout 100%, all right? I just heard that there's gonna be more dirt this time, all right? And there was a lot of dirt this time, okay? But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a challenge riding with the slicks, all right? But yeah, so the heat race comes along, and I got the big battery in the bike now, so now I know, yeah, it's got a lot of power, all right? Was that it? No, you know what I did? I think the first practice, I saw this one was running out of juice, because I've already been kind of messing around with it and stuff, and it was pretty low on charge. I think it's probably like at like 30% right now, somewhere around there. So I saw, like, oh, you know, the bike feels like it's really slow. I want to put another battery in it and see, and then like go out and rip again. So second practice goes around, and we use that battery, and I shit you not, man, we went from like 90% to 70%. I was like, dude, you need to slow down, all right? So what I did was I told myself, hey, you know, for the heat race, don't go all out. Just go halfway. I don't have a charger. I can't freaking charge the battery, okay? So yeah, I didn't bring it this time. Hayes Omega, you need to bring it next time, all right? It doesn't hurt to bring it, all right? I know you hate running that generator. It's stinky and it's loud, but yeah, man, it would have come in handy this time, is what I'm gonna say, all right? So we were at 70% after the practice, all right? So yeah, and then we did the heat race, and I told myself, don't get on the throttle all the way, just half throttle it. So we take off. Alex George is out there with his scooter again, all right, his Yamaha Vino, and then there was 6 of us, all right. I think it was me, Alex, and then there was four other riders, all right, on dirt bikes, mini bikes. I think it was a KLX 140, a TTR 125, some XR1 Hondos, all right, and then Alex on his scooter, and me on the Suron, all right, Suron Lightbeat. All right, so green flag goes up. I think we're in the back. We're back on the right, and I think the bike in front of me, I think it was the KLX, like stalls or something. So I had to go around them like whoosh, you know. So that was my time to go between them, but I wasn't expecting them to stall in front of me, so I kind of got a bad start, sort of. But yeah, you know, I said like, you know what, I don't wanna just destroy these guys right out the gate, man. But yeah, I tried to get in front as much as possible, and then like Alex is out there, right? So it's me and Alex, we're racing on the course, and I'm only going like half throttle, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's go hang out with Alex. Let's see how Alex does on the scooter, all right? It's just a heat race anyways. It's more of a practice race, okay? It doesn't really count. And I'm with Alex for like 2 laps. We're having a good time, you know? And Alex just keeps on sending that scooter off of the jump. And mind you, Alex has a broken hand, all right? Alex is a freaking animal, man, I'm telling you. He's got a broken hand and he's racing, all right? He's supposed to get surgery tomorrow to fix his hand, all right? So yeah, man, I'm telling you, this guy is a beast, man. He's out there racing again, all right? But he had a really good time last time. Unfortunately, there's no other scooters for him to race this time, so he's stuck with racing with us, unfortunately. All right. So remember, they had the clubman class and the expert class. So me and Alex are having a good time racing on the track. Everyone else is like way behind us, and then I see Alex launch off of the when you transition on the asphalt to the pavement. There's like a drop, all right? There's like it just goes down. There's a little ramp, but it's a really steep ramp. You can roll it or you can launch your bike off of it, all right? That's really the only 2 choices you got, right? Well, Alex just launches it out every time with a broken hand, might I add, all right? And then I see this little box come off of his bike, and it just starts rolling away. I'm like, what was that? And then. Alex's bike just kind of stops, all right, and I find out later that that's Alex's airbox. Okay, yeah, Alex's airbox fell off of the bike, right, and then so Hades Mega's just like, oh well, see ya, Alex, and I just get out there in front, and everyone's way behind me, and I don't remember I think I passed a bunch of people in the beginning, and then that was it. There was no more passing. I didn't really ride with anybody. And so the rest of the time, I'm just taking it easy, all right? I'm half throttle. It's easy when you go slow, guys. That's what I say, all right? But I told myself, hey, you got to put on a show for the crowd. You know, most of the crowd is on the asphalt side. So when I went down the straight, I would just gun it really hard. Twist it all the way, and then so it's a question mark turn, right? It's a question, or kind of almost like a lollipop, but not all the way. And I would just speed in there, and then brake really hard, and then just take that turn as fast as I can. I was getting the bike lean pretty damn good. I was getting confident. These slicks are amazing on the pavement, all right, guys. This is what I want to say, all right. Not so good in the dirt, but on the pavement, pretty damn good, all right. Not bad for Supermoto, right? And anyway, yeah, and so I wind up finishing first in that race. I also wind up lapping somebody in that race. I lapped the dude that was all the way in the back, all right? And yeah, so I was like, and I was kind of bummed out. That like, yeah, I feel like I should be racing with the experts. Because I watched the experts race, and I saw them, oh, they're having a lot of fun. They're going really fast. I kind of want to race with these guys. And most of the guys in the expert class, I raced them last year in the clubman class. So guess what? Hayes Mega, I tell him, hey, you know, I kind of want to race with you guys. Like, I'm destroying these guys. I feel like I'm bullying these guys. And so Hayes Mega wound up racing in the expert class for the main race. All right, so I bumped up from, I did the Clubman heat race, and then I did the expert main race. All right, so that's what happened. So I sit the main race out for the Clubman race, and then we were racing the expert class. All right, and another reason I wanted to race the expert class is there's a CRF 150R electric bike. All right, it's like electric bike conversion. All right, and I raced it last time, and I actually got to ride it last time, and it was pretty fast. It impressed me. All right, and I was like, well, this time I have the Komodo power this time. So I want to see how it does, type of thing. All right, so I don't know how they figured out how the grid works, but they gridded me in the back on the right. For some reason, that's where I like to be. I like to be on the back on the right, so that's good for me. I like to be on the outside so I can take like a late apex. And so anyway, green flag goes up, boom, race starts, and we take off. Oh, I think his name is Niles. That was his name. Yeah, I think Niles. I had to pass a couple bikes to get into the front. All right, and like it was kind of sketchy. Like I kind of swooped inside the turn. All right, the question mark turn, and I parked my bike in there. I parked my bike on the inside. So like they had to like slow down, or they'd like to slow down, or they'd have to hit me. All right. So I was like, ooh, this like I hope he doesn't hit me. So, but like we go, and Hayes Mega actually before we get into the dirt, Hayes Mega's in the front. All right, and I make it into the dirt before everybody else, and then now is the game of Unfortunately, this time I'm well, I thought I was the mouse, you know, but I was able to hold them off in the dirt. All right, there was a SSR 150 behind me, and then there was the 150R behind me. All right, and I'm like, and once we get into the dirt, I'm like, oh damn, I'm not feeling too comfortable. Like we're going fast. I think around one of the turns in the back, I do a tank slapper. Like the handlebars go like this. Like, but I was able to keep it up. All right. I think that's because I'm trying to put my weight on the back. Yeah, I'm putting my weight on the back of the bike instead of the front of the bike, and I'm steering with the handlebars. All right, that's a no-no. That's a no-no in the dirt. All right, you don't want to do that. So I try to sit up more in either the middle or more in the front of the bike so we can get more weight on the front. Also another thing I did during practice is I softened the suspension up. All right. I let some air out of the tire so I can get as much grip as possible, because we're not really going that high of speeds. I don't even know what the fastest speeds are, man. I didn't have my GPS with me so I can clock it, but yeah. So softening up the suspension worked really good, all right? I went down on the high speed compression. I think we're like only like 2 clicks up from the medium setting for the bike, all right? I knew that, like, yeah, I think you want some soft suspension because you want the suspension softer because this course doesn't have not very many jumps. All right, there's only two. There's like one jump that goes into the dirt, and then there's one kind of thing that goes out and thing. Right, and the little ramp, the launch ramp wasn't there. Okay, so that there was really only two things. So for the most part, it was a flat track. So we didn't have to worry about bottoming out the forks and stuff like the motocross races. So it would be better to make it softer, right? And it helped a whole lot. I felt more confident with having the front soft like that. Also, there's a section where the panhandle is, where it's all beat the fuck up, man. I'm telling you, it's like potholes and they're uneven and stuff, and the bike just doing this like left and right. The back is just dancing around everywhere. Yeah. It was difficult to get the light bead through that, all right, especially with the slicks on. But after I softened up the suspension, I felt much more comfortable going over that. So definitely the practice helped a lot, and being able to tune the suspension helped a lot. The Dorado is doing great. That's what I say, all right. So anyway, yeah, we got this SSR behind me, and a white SSR, and the 150R. And so once we get onto the pavement, you do a U-turn and you can see the people. You can look around the corner and you can see the people going onto the pavement. All right, and I'm like, whoa, they're right there with you. You better not slow down. I knew my advantage was in the pavement. I've got power and I've got grip. All right, with these slicks. So I knew, like, I need to make up the difference from the dirt, because I feel like I'm slower in the dirt. All right. But after the race, I talked to some of the racers and they're like, nah, dude, you were pretty fast in the dirt too. I was like, okay, well, thanks. Yeah, I was trying my best I could in the dirt, all right, with what I had, type of thing. But I knew I have an advantage on the pavement, so I took it, Okay, yeah. So it was like wide open throttle, tucked in, and then late brake, just throw it into the corner. I was getting pretty confident going around that question mark. And I was getting really close to the cones and stuff. Yeah, man, it was awesome, dude. Sometimes I would take a later apex line, but yeah, I tried everything I could to make up the distance on the pavement. I tried to be as fast as I could on the pavement, because on the dirt I kind of suck in shit. So, okay, but apparently I was doing okay, all right, according to other people. And the traction varied a whole lot. There was this really marbly gravel everywhere. And then there were just sections where there wasn't any gravel, and these tires would actually hook up really good on it, But like I said, if the bike just got out of control, I would just put my foot down, just dab, all right? That's the flat tracker style, right? Yeah, so yeah, it was like that for the rest of the race, pretty much. We had the guy at the SSR behind us, and then it turns out the 150R. The guy on the 150R, he kind of, his battery was low, right? And the funny thing is, like, I think he said he had like 74 volts on his battery. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if you have a 72 volt battery and you have 74 volts, you're already at 50%, all right? And so we were at 67%. I remember, yeah, we were at 67%, and at the end of the race, I was at like 51%. So we did pretty good. What I noted was when we hit the dirt, I couldn't use all that power, man. 15 kilowatts, too much in the dirt, all right? Especially with this setup. Okay, it's great on the pavement, but in the dirt, it's too much. The tires just spin like crazy, all right? So I most of the time I'm like half throttle in the dirt, all right? Maybe if I want to get the back to kick out a little bit, I'll give it a little more throttle. But yeah, his Meg's not very good at sliding the bike, okay? But I was using the rear brake a lot too. I don't have the regen throttle like I did last time, unfortunately. So I would use the rear brake. I would lock up the rear brake to go around the U-turn. All right. There's two ways I went around that U-turn. When you go onto the pavement, you hang a left, and then there's a right-hander U-turn that you have to do really tight. It's like a one lane. Maybe I would say it's a 1.5 lane U-turn, all right? So you'd have to be really tight. The faster you can get out of that, the faster you can get back on the throttle, right? And there's two ways. You can either just lean the bike a whole lot, try to get the front to, get around the cone as fast as possible, or you can back it in, all right? And you can back it in with the rear brake, and that's what I did sometimes, all right? Sometimes I would, just let the bike slide and stop, and then just get on the throttle, and you have that explosive torque with the electric bike. Even if you slow down to a stop, you still have a lot of good drive coming out of that turn. All right, so definitely an advantage, and I didn't have to mess with any gears and stuff. And the good thing is, this time around I could see where I'm going. Okay. Also, we're in the front. We don't have to worry about dust, all right? We weren't getting dusted a whole lot, all right? Somehow I was roosting myself. My bike, like, kicks up the rocks, and I guess it hits the back of my helmet or something. I don't know, man. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, what happened to the 150R wound up he backed out of the race. So he, because his battery was kind of low. So I think next time he should charge the battery all the way. That's what I'd say, all right? He was actually charging it while between the races too, so just not enough, I guess. Well, it's better than me because I didn't have a charger or generator at all. Okay, so there's no way you were charging that Ace Mega. But yeah, so anyway, after the 8 laps were done, Hayes Mega was able to maintain the lead for the whole race, all right? And it was the SSR behind us, and then there was a dude on a flat tracker, XR100, the guy with the pigtails. I think his name was Niles. We raced him last time, all right? He's pretty fast, okay? And I watched them all race in the heat race, and they all looked pretty fast to me, all right? So give yourself a pat on the back, Hayes Mega. You beat these guys. Woo! And I got the first place trophy, all right? So this is a special trophy. It looks different than all the other ones, all right? The other ones were just like medals, like Olympic medals, and it said like Treasure Island TT on it. And there was like a bronze one, and there was like a silver one, all right? But this one, I got an actual trophy. It's got a little dish here. Yeah, check it out. It was so cool at the end, right? Turn the light on. Okay, yeah, that's what the trophy looks like, guys. Pretty cool. It's got a steering wheel and a helmet. Should be more like a handlebar, but is cool. It's got 2 checkered flags on it. It's got something like a shield here, and it engraved. That's not engraved. It's embossed, I think. I think so. That's what it's called, embossing, right? It says Dames SFTT first. Haha! Right there it is. All right, guys. That's my little treasure right there. Yeah. This is first place expert 2023. Haha. Pretty cool. Pretty happy. I don't have to put like I could probably put the date on it. All my trophies I put like what class and the date and all that stuff, but it has all that on here already, so I'll probably put like July 4th on the back or something. I'll definitely will not forget when I got this trophy, all right? Independence Day 2023. Hayes Mega went to race Treasure Island TT, and I came back with this. Oh, okay, there it is, guys. All right, and I was so excited. Every time I crossed the finish line first, I would do like a freaking a wheelie. I would do like a pivot turn wheelie. Like a 360 wheelie? Yeah, man. I was so excited. Hayes Mega's not a wheelie person, alright? I don't do wheelies, alright? But I had to do some showboating for the crowd, alright? When you're on top, you gotta showboat a little bit, alright? So to say, alright? You can't just like whatever, you know? Yeah. Okay, anyway, yes. We won the expert class race, alright? You know, we got lucky, we got a good start, and I was able to maintain that lead the whole time. And I showed them what electric bike power can do. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right. And yeah, definitely the KO Moto factory controller and motor, they helped a whole lot, man. Not a hiccup. I remember the last time we raced in this race, I had that QS motor and the ASI controller, and they was not in a good state of tune, and it would just skip and stuff. It would like cut out, and I had to turn the bike on, turn it off, turn the bike off, turn the bike on. Do it like a restart and stuff. The bike ran flawlessly. It ran great, all right? Also, I had repaired the swing arm before this, all right? Just the day before, I had a crack welded on the swing arm, and by Rob at Fabrications Unlimited. Check that video out. But yeah, I had actually cracked the swing arm. I don't even know what race it was. I was loading it on the trailer, and I saw a crack on the swing arm. I was like, oh shit, I think we should fix that. All right, so I took the bike apart. The bike was in pieces last night, guys, and I just threw it all together. I adjusted the chain last night, and also all my spokes were loose. All right. Oh, you know what the crazy thing is? There was a bike out there during practice, and I saw the wheel doing this thing, like it was all getting all wavy and stuff. I was like, oh, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the wheel on this bike. And I was like, just pass it. Immediately pass it, okay? And I passed it right away. And I think that was Lucy Triples or something. All the spokes on her wheel were like loose, like super loose. I was like, holy crap. That's why it was doing that wavy thing. So that might have been me if I didn't tighten these spokes, right? So after the last Reno race, the Supermoto race, I noticed the wheels making a lot of creaking sounds, okay? And that's because the spokes were all loose. I had to tighten like most of the spokes, all right? And I also trued the wheel. I've got to true it going up and down. I've got a kind of like, it's like a bouncing. I think the wheel is like off center, and so I can feel the back kind of like flopping around a little bit, all right, when I go fast. But it didn't stop me from getting first place. Okay, yeah. So everything held in there fine. All right. I was at 51% charge after that last race. I'm surprised it didn't eat up that much power during the main race, because it seemed like the charge went down really, really quick. I think maybe my batteries are starting to degrade. That's what I'm thinking, man. I think it's about time these batteries are, you know, they're starting to lose their capacity now. All right, but I was at 90% after, and then after one practice it went down to 70%, and then we had that race, and then it went down to like 60% or something, right? And then I think it went back up to 67% before the main race. And then after the main race, we went from 67% to 51%. So, way to go. Lightspeed batteries, they hung in there, all right? I have to say, I did get that range anxiety, all right? Knowing that, like, oh, you know, I'm pushing the bike really hard. I don't want the batteries to die on me, right? So definitely an improve for next time is bring the freaking generator and bring the battery charger, okay? And charge the battery to 100%. All right, you know you're gonna go out there and dick around with the bike. You know, but definitely don't start the heat race with 100% charge. I notice the bike doesn't like starting at 100% charge. Okay, yeah, I noticed the bike is kind of slower when it's 100% charge. I think it's because it doesn't like having that really full charge. And plus, when you get on the regen, it could make the battery overcharge and the BMS might cut off, right? And you don't want that, all right? Because if the BMS cuts you off, then it's gonna suck. Okay, that's the end of your race pretty much. You lost, all right? But yeah, they hung in there. This one hardly has any charge. I should have charged it during the week. I will charge it after this video, all right, guys? I got plenty of solar power today because it was like getting power from the sunlight the whole day. Okay. But yeah, definitely charge the batteries to 100%. I charged it to 90%. I should have done the 100%. Then we probably wouldn't have had range anxiety, okay? And plus, if we had two 100% packs, well, if one of them kind of got low, we could swap it out, all right? That's what Hayes Omega does during the Supermoto races, all right? For the main race, we run one battery, and the heat race, we run another battery, all right? So, yeah, I should have, you know, Hades Mega was just being lazy, okay? Next time, charge the batteries, and then bring your generator, Hades Mega. I know you hate bringing that thing, but just do it, all right? Next time, if I know next time that it's going to be a lot of dirt, I think I would rather just run the knobbies, all right? So I'll probably try running with the knobbies next time. I know they were saying it was pretty slippery on the asphalt with the knobbies. You probably tear up your knobbies on the pavement too. All right, but I got the gummy tire. I think it's okay. And the gummy tires are pretty worn out already too, the cheater tires. Or one thing we could probably do is run a knobby front tire like we did at Hawk's place. Run a knobby front tire, and then my street tires, you know, because it's got some tread, so it's going to have a little more grip in the dirt. Rear tire for the next race. Right? Maybe do like a hybrid mix of street and knobby. I tried it one time at Hawk's place, and I liked it. It worked pretty good. And you can practice sliding the bike knowing that the front is going to hook up better than the rear. All right. When the front goes, there's not much you can do, guys. The only thing you could really do is put your foot down, all right, or get on the throttle more and try to slide the back out, okay, and try to get both tires to slide at the same time, all right. When the front slides, you're doing something wrong, okay? You're not getting your elbows up. You're not sitting too far on the front of the bike. You know, you need to give that front more weight so it gets more traction, okay? So that's some improves for next time. But, you know, I did pretty well, all right? Sometimes Hayes Mega is not perfect. I can't do repeat performance every time, guys. That's the one to say, all right? Yeah. And yeah, the bike worked really good. Softening the suspension helped really good. I thought that we should definitely do that next time, make the suspension softer for this race. It definitely pays to go out and practice and look at the track, okay? If we had like whoops or like jumps and stuff, then you can bet, like, yeah, we probably want to stiffen up the suspension. Actually, for whoops, I think you want softer suspension, right? You want the suspension to be soft enough where it'll absorb everything, but it won't bottom out if you launch the bike, right? So that's the big thing right there, right? And we didn't really have a whole lot of jumps in this race. It was a pretty much it was pretty much a flat track supermoto race is what it was. All right, it was freaking awesome, man. I had a great time. The asphalt had really good grip too with this. All right, riding at Reno, man, the grip just sucks. Is a suck over there, man. But this asphalt had really good grip. I could feel like I could push the tires really hard, even after coming out of the dirt. They're really dirty. You know, usually when you come out of the dirt, the tires are pretty slick, and it felt great, man. The traction was great on the asphalt. I wish we could have stayed on the asphalt more. That dirt was pretty, but it's good practice, you know. It's good to practice like that flat track stuff. I really enjoy it. It's really challenging, all right, guys? Yeah, and so that's it. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Also, I was wearing my street gear. You see I have my leathers and all that stuff. I think next time I'm going to wear dirt bike gear. Most of it was dirt, and we're not really going fast. If you went down, you're not going to get hurt all that much. I wore the normal stuff I wore for supermoto races, except for the gloves. All right, I used my delivery gloves. All right, my DoorDash delivery gloves. The Joe Rocket Supermoto gloves. Yeah, I used those gloves because I figured, like, oh yeah, we're probably not going to be going that fast. I feel that it's better to have a smaller glove. So I didn't take my Nox Handroids. All right, that's for some really high-speed track stuff, but we weren't really doing that. So I said, that's fine. I think next time I will wear the dirt bike stuff. I'm not gonna lie. When I was on the course, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting hot, man. I'm getting real hot. My face is getting hot. I'm not getting enough wind in my face. If I had a dirt bike helmet, it would feel so much better, you know. Plus, there are just people riding in the dirt, kicking up roost, and in this case, they're kicking up rocks, like they're throwing marbles at you. All right, so you could definitely crack your shield and stuff, and yeah, so it would be better to have goggles. Is what I'll say. So I think next time I do this race, I'm gonna wear my dirt bike gear instead. Okay, maybe I'll wear the elbow pads. I don't wear elbow pads because they go down on my shoulders. I'm gonna work on getting a suit. All right, an armored suit, the upper suit. Maybe like a Liat one. They're really expensive though. That's a problem. But yeah, wear that and then just wear a jersey on top of it. That's what a lot of supermoto racers do. I mean, really, leathers are the best, you know, but they're not comfortable. I wasn't getting enough airflow to my body. I felt like, man, I wish I was wearing the dirt bike stuff. I'm not getting enough air. I feel hot out there, and it wasn't hot at all. It was probably in the low 70s to high 60s. That's the weather it was, and it was really windy. It was San Francisco, guys. It's always freaking cold and gloomy in San Francisco. Fortunately, the weather was actually pretty good today. It was sunny, but it wasn't hot. All right, it was warm here. That's what I was there, right? And you could hear the fireworks and the firecrackers and everything. People doing all these crazy stuff because it's Independence Day. You know, America, right? That kind of stuff. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I had a whole lot of fun. I hope to do it again, and I got a sweet trophy. And the KO Moto stuff, I have to say, give my hats off to KO Tech, man. I'm winning races because of your controller and your motor, all right? I checked the heat. Yeah, actually, I checked the heat on the controller and the motor after, I think, the heat race or something, or maybe one of the practices. I was riding it really hard, and I noted the controller only got to a quarter of the heat, and the motor was like almost half or something. Like, it didn't even give it that much of a workout. All right, we weren't working it that hard. All right, so that's probably why the battery didn't drain all that much. But I was surprised during practice it went down 20%. So that leads me to believe maybe my batteries are going bad. I'm not sure. Maybe Hayes Omega might want to look into getting a third battery, like getting one of those monster battery packs, but I just don't want to spend any more money on this bike. Also, Hayes Omega's threw up the idea, I kind of want to get a swing arm. I've heard a lot of bad things about the KO Moto swing arm, but that's the cheaper swing arm. EBMX sells a swing arm, upgraded swing arm. It's a little bit bigger and it's longer. It'll make the bike more stable. And it won't crack like the freaking Sauron one, alright? I cracked this thing twice already. I think the next time I crack it, I don't know. If it's unrepairable, then I think I might look into getting the EBMX swing arm. I might see if I don't know, man. It's a lot of money, but I think that's kind of like the weak point on the Sauron, alright? I'm not going to lie. The weak point of the Sauron is the swing arm, and like people have told me, yeah, you know, it looks like your wheel is bending, or it's the fork, it's the swing arm is twisting. All right, the swing arm isn't super stiff. Okay, it's not the most heavy duty swing arm in the world. That's what I want to say. Okay, and as you can see, Hayes Megas Racing is not doing it any favors. Okay, I feel like I probably put so many races on it, it's all fatigued now and stuff. So I will be keeping an eye on the swing arm. All right, I definitely want to check out these spokes too. I feel like they're okay. It looks like some of them are loose again, man. So yeah, you definitely want to take a look at that. For some reason, the rear gets loose a lot more than the front. Right? The front was okay. All right, the brakes were great. The regen was okay. Definitely for the fast section, the regen helped slow me down. And when we're trying to slow down a lot in the dirt, it helps slow me down. The brakes were pretty good for this race, all right? Especially I can lock up the rear going around that thing. I still wish I had a regen throttle. KO Moto, I want a regen throttle so I can just slide my bike around in the dirt. I would be so much faster if I could just drag the rear end through the dirt and then just get back on the throttle, as opposed to just trying to coast into the turn, or like try to back it in with the brakes. Yeah, no, I missed that regen throttle. I felt that regen throttle, I was like very dependent on it, all right? And now without it, I've learned to ride without it, but I still prefer to have that regen throttle. So I hope they could do something like that in the future. I still hope they can fix this, America! All right, anyway, yeah, I hope in the future that they implement some kind of regen throttle, right? Or at least fix the minimum regen speed, man. This thing shuts off regen at 10 miles an hour. I want it to regen all the way to 1 miles an hour. My Alta does it. My Impulse does it. All right? All the big name electric bikes do it. They can regen all the way down to a stop, all right? My Alta will do that in mode 4, man. Like no hands on anything. It just stops on its own. Either that or get me a regen throttle, okay? I do like the regen throttle because, like, sometimes if you let off on a jump accidentally and the bike just nosedives, all right? With the regen throttle, if you don't touch it, it just kind of coasts over the jump. You can just coast over a jump if you want, you know? If you do that, you have to be on the throttle if you have off-throttle regen, all right? So, but I still want a regen throttle, thumb brake, KO Moto, please make something like that, all right? And then this controller setup would be perfect. They did a great job with the newest update. It doesn't stall or anything, or cut off, no nothing. It ran without a hiccup, man. It ran really good, all right? I felt like, yeah, the power is kind of dropping a little bit. I feel these batteries are degrading, all right? The capacity is degraded, and it's chomping through the voltage like crazy, all right? So I got to keep the charge up as much as possible, all right? So I'm keeping the Sauron, so it looks like in the future I might need to get another battery, all right? And now Sauron Battery Tech has gotten better, all right? They've got some better batteries out there now. So I may look into getting another battery, like a third battery, and a swing arm, all right? I could use another a stiffer, stronger swing arm, because this one I'm just breaking it all the time, man. Okay? But yeah, I had a whole lot of fun. Treasure Island TT 2023 in the books, and I got a trophy for it was a great souvenir. It was fun to race in San Francisco. The weather was great, and okay, and yeah, so that is my after action review of the Treasure Island TT 2023. We may have more Treasure Island races this year, but this is the first one for 2023, and I got a trophy for it. All right, definitely the bike improved 100% since last time. It's great. All right. Okay, thanks for watching. Here's Big out. By the way, this battery has 67.6 volts. All right, the smaller one. That's like pretty much almost empty. 60 volts is like you're got 0%, guys.